Sessions lied to the American people, and he must resign immediately. It is well known that Sessions was a long-serving Donald Trump campaign advisor, not just a surrogate from time to time, as he testified. The fact is that he spoke with Russia's ambassador to the United States last year, which is contrary to the testimony he provided under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee during his confirmation hearings. It's a slap in the face to American values. And just as mentioned, people who have come to Congress to testify who have lied have been prosecuted. This should be no different. We should hold him to the same standard of accountability that we provide to everybody else who takes an oath to tell the truth to our Congress. I reiterate my call for an independent, bipartisan, transparent commission to investigate this administration's connections and communications with Russia. We cannot forget that Russia's actions included cyber attacks and media campaigns to influence public opinion and undermine our elections. I've read the report from the intelligence community, and I'm convinced that Russia not only interfered with our election, but that their interference continues today. And I invite the American people to read the unclassified version, which is available online. I think you will be appalled in what you read. Again, thank you so much for being here. We cannot let down. We got to keep this up. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you and my colleagues here on doing that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative Barragan. We're joined today by members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, by friends from the Progressive Change Campaign Committee, by vote vets, by an array of progressive groups, the Center for American Progress, Bend the Arc, a whole bunch of groups that is just beginning to form, because there is no question that a grassroots uprising against Jeff Sessions has begun that will not rest until justice is served by the Attorney General stepping down. We're joined now by Representative Nydia Velasquez. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. My friends, we are going to get to the bottom of this because of the American people. Yeah. We must be committed every single day to get to the truth. And we will do everything within our power. Every day, there is a new development. Thank you. A new development that calls into question the integrity of our electoral system and casts suspicion over the 2016 election. In December, I wrote to outgoing Attorney General Lynch asking her to appoint a special counsel to investigate Russia's hacking of the election. After General Flynn resigned last month, I follow up with another letter to Sessions calling for a special counsel. Now, today, we find out that there is very likely Jeff Sessions perjured himself during his confirmation hearings. This is a dark turn of events, something that should concern every American regardless of political party. And by the way, last time I checked, Republicans impeach people for lying. We are past the point of refusal. The Attorney General is our top law enforcement officer, and that position cannot be held by someone who lied under oath or misled Congress. Jeff Sessions needs to resign. The acting general who replaces him must appoint a special counsel to investigate. Congress must pass legislation creating an independent commission to investigate. The American people need to know their democracy is intact. That can only happen when they have faith that these matters are being investigated and that the head of the Department of Justice has been honest with Congress and the American people. Sadly, I cannot say that that is the case today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Velasquez. Let's try a very slightly complicated little chant. Goes like this. Russia ties, he said no. Sessions lies, he's got to go. Well, that sounds like there we go. All right, let's try it. Russia ties, he said no. Sessions lies, he's got to go. Russia ties, he said no. Sessions lies, he's got to go. Russia ties, he said no. Sessions lies, he's got to go. All right. Turn now by Representative Michael Haynes. Thank you so much for being here. Lock him up! 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 Lock him up!
I am
Lock him up!
to be
Lock him up! Lock him up!
with the
Lock him up!
There are still Americans in this country that believe that we have rights, and we will hold our elected officials and those who take the oath accountable. Now, this is about transparency. This is about accountability, credibility, and most of all, it's about our national security. The role of the Attorney General is the top law enforcement officer of this country, and America cannot afford to give a pass to someone who took the oath and lied while he sat in that office of privilege. No more. The Attorney General is a serious position with great power and potential consequences.
It's not about the law.
Jeff Sessions has lied under oath to Congress and before the American people. He lied about his contact and communication with Russia. Sessions' communication with Russia is dangerous. Russia is not an ally of the United States of America. It is dangerous to our national security, dangerous for the American people. That's why we're here today. A call for Sessions to recuse himself from investigation into the Trump administration's ties and lies. Ties and lies. Ties and lies. Ties and lies. We must say at minimum, that Sessions must recuse himself. He should resign. Not tomorrow, not next week. First Flynn, now Sessions. Who's next? Lies and ties. Who's next? Lies and ties. Who's next? We need leaders who will uphold and defend our democracy, not ones who will mingle with political powers that attack our democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the United States of America, proud Americans with a constitution, with a democracy that requires those who take the oath of office to be at least honest, to at minimum understand that they will be held accountable when they lie and put our country at risk. We must never stop because the lies and the ties, we will hold them accountable, and this is still our America. Keep fighting.
Thank you. Representative Lawrence, thank you. If you are not yet among the more than 100,000 and counting people who've signed a petition calling for Sessions to resign immediately and for a successor to appoint a special counsel, you can text RESIGN, that's RESIGN, to 668-366. That's RESIGN to 668-366. That's what? To what? 366. Perfect. It's such a memorable phone number. Thank you. Our next speaker is indeed Representative Sheila Jackson-Lee. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you to the members here who have gathered, the courageous members. Thank you for being here, and I am a proud, shouting member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. We will not stand down. Now, my friends, let me give you breaking news. Well, we've got some friends out there. Thank you, friends. Breaking news is that the Speaker of the House has just indicated that he will ask General Sessions to recuse himself. And I say that is not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Let me share with you a little document called the Constitution. Let me acknowledge that as the executive, those individuals are sworn by oath to uphold the laws of the United States of America. The Attorney General of the United States is the chief legal officer of the people of the United States. He is not the counsel to the President. The Attorney General is to uphold the laws. He is to respect the most vulnerable. He is to fight for civil rights. He is to stand in the gap against hate crimes. And yet, we have an individual who was sworn in his testimony, who by actual video and voice told Senator Franken the complete opposite, gave false testimony. That is a potential breach of the law. As the chief legal officer, you cannot maintain your position by breaching the law. False testimony counters any right you have to remain as Attorney General of the United States of America. That's right. And so, we already know that there is a litany of accusations that the Republicans have refused to investigate on President Trump. As a senior member of the Judiciary Committee, over and over we have recounted through an inquiry that we did on Tuesday all of the violations under the Emoluments Clause, all of the money grabbing, all of the Trump hotels, all of the business deals. All of that is illegal as it relates to the Constitution of the United States. And then, for our Republican friends to suffer the conspicuous intrusion of Russia into the sacred and somber election of the people, one vote, one person, not one Russian government vote, not one Putin vote, but one person, one vote. And so I can only conclude that anyone who was in any way engaged in contacts that cannot be justified or cannot be explained or was not presented in the sworn testimony when you were directly asked whether any surrogates or others might have had contact with the Russians, I think that is a clear question, is it not? And so the answer would be what I did. I had a meeting, but it was related to this. Nothing was said. So let me conclude by saying we are constitutionally firm on our standing today. We must speak for the American people who cannot speak for themselves. And as we watch someone who has sworn to uphold the laws of the United States of America now finds himself within the jaws of misrepresentation and false testimony, I'd make the argument that only a patriot, of which I assume we all think we are, would stand up and accept the responsibility and step down. In the alternative, In the alternative, and I ask my colleagues to join me, we will be sending a letter to President Trump asking him to seek the resignation of his Attorney General or fire him right on the spot if he believes in the integrity of this country. So thank you, my friends, for speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves, and I thank my colleagues for their leadership, their courage, and their responsibility for standing for what is right. The Constitution lives, and America believes in the patriots who will stand for those who cannot stand for themselves.
Thank you so much for being here. Let's take a moment to chant it. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jeff Sessions has got to go. Hey, hey. We're joined now by Representative Adriano Espia. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I bring greetings from New York. To reclaim our nation, to retake our nation from the Russians, Jeff Sessions must step down. He must step down. But it doesn't surprise us that we're here today, and we will be back again and again and again, because this administration has surrounded itself with the most extreme right-wing sectors of America. And we know what they engage in. They engage in lies and deceptions. They engage in backroom deals. They engage in discrimination. They engage in hate. So it doesn't surprise me to be here asking for someone that has historically spoken hatred against African Americans. It doesn't surprise me to stand here as a Dominican American when he himself said in the Senate floor that we had nothing, anybody coming from that country had nothing to offer this nation. So he must step down. Jeff Sessions, do not drag our country through this hurt. Spare us the pain. Step down. Particularly now, when Russia is still at its best doing hacking and interfering in elections in Europe. We must have a strong Department of Justice that will not only secure and protect the integrity of our democracy, but that would also know that the democracies throughout the world are just as precious. And so we need a strong leader in the Department of Justice. We need a Robert Kennedy in the Department of Justice. We need an Eric Holder in the Department of Justice. And so please, Sessions, spare us the pain and step down. Stand up for democracy. Be a patriot. Dissent is patriotic. Resign. Keep the faith. Let's push on, because if there's no justice, there is no peace. If there's no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Keep the faith.
And he helped rescind transgender protection laws against our kids. That's right. There are so many terrible things he's done or that he's pledged to do. And now we know that he lied in his confirmation hearing. Folks, let's try a new chant. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down.
Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down. Fire Sessions if he won't step down.
That this could be a flash in the pan that there's nothing to see here. You're hearing it already from Republicans. You're hearing it from a lot of trolls on Twitter from the alt-right and Breitbart. They are wrong. We are not going anywhere. They can tell us to sit down and shut up, but we will persist. We're joined now by Representative Dwight Evans. Thank you so much for being here.
One voice, and that voice is for the people. We have to send a message that we're not going to tolerate lying. Lying is element where we're standing up, and we must send that message that Sessions need to understand that the people are in charge. The people and the power in the hands of the people. We recognize that we're not going to accept anybody who's in this building who are lying. It's clear that the case has been made. It's power to the people, and it's up to us. It's up to us to recognize that this is our democracy. This is what democracy looks like, what you see here. We need to understand that we own this government. Sessions does not. We got a message to send. We cannot give up. We have to continue in this fight. We recognize that we are the ones in charge. And to send that message one and for all, that there's one voice and one vote. So we are in charge. So let's hear it again. Sessions must go. 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 Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Representative Evans. Someone just suggested that maybe our next Attorney General, after Jeff Sessions steps down, we hope today, should be Jamie Raskin, our next speaker. Jamie Raskin, thank you so much.
Hello, Indivisible, and hello, Move On, and hello, Women's March. Hello, people who gathered here today on a moment's notice. The Trump administration has a staph infection. Every day we learn about another high-ranking Trump official who has been entangled with the highest levels of the Russian government and Vladimir Putin, the former chief of the KGB, who has said that the single greatest catastrophe of the 20th century. Excuse me, go have your demonstration across the street with the rest of the alt-right maniacs. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Constitution begins with these three most important words. We the people. We the people. Everybody else in Congress, the President, the Attorney General, works for us. The people are sovereign. The people are sovereign. And in order to have a meaningful constitutional democracy, we need to have a foundation of truth.
Foundation of truth.
Democracy is based on the truth.
Based on the truth.
We lie under oath. 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 We lie under oath.
You know how we know that he lied under oath? Because today, the Republicans are saying he should recuse himself, and yesterday they were saying he shouldn't recuse himself. So today they're saying he should recuse himself. They say recuse, we say resign. They say recuse,
We say resign.
they say recuse.
We say resign. They say recuse. We say resign.
You know what? We also know that our friendly alt-right Breitbart hecklers know that perjury is against the law. You know how we know they know it? because they impeached Bill Clinton in the House of Representatives for lying about sex. They did that, remember? They understand that perjury is against the law. If perjury is against the law for Democrats, perjury is against the law for Republicans, too. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a crisis of confidence across the land in this administration. Jeff Sessions must go. He must resign now. And if not, Donald Trump is going to have to dust off a complete sentence he used to know how to execute, which is, "You're fired!" Thank you very much.
Another round of applause to all the members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus who joined us today. Thank you so much. We are joined here by an extraordinary collection of leaders from across the progressive movement. I'd like to introduce the first non-congressional such leader, Will Fisher of Vote Vets. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so very much. Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. Our national security is at risk. We are no longer talking about a situation of a political candidate out there fan dancing and fawning over an authoritarian dictator. We are no longer in a situation where we merely have a candidate for office fan dancing and fawning for an authoritarian dictator. What we have now is potentially a foreign country inserting itself into our election process. We have a foreign government inserting itself into our elections. And we have a president who has potentially been compromised. And that is why Vote Vets, an organization of over 500,000 veterans, has called for an independent commission to investigate these matters. Yay, Vote Vets! To find out if the president broke the law, to find out if the president violated the Constitution, and to find out if the president has put our national security at risk. And as clear as we are about the call for that independent investigation, it needs to be made that we believe it is crystal clear as well that recusal is not enough. That it is now, since we're at the DOJ, beyond a reasonable doubt that Jeff Sessions has got to resign. Jeff Sessions has got to resign. So what I'm asking each of you all to do is when you leave here this afternoon, call your members of Congress. Call your members of Congress and ask them to do their duty. Ask them to do their job. Ask them to respect the oath that they took to uphold and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States in the same manner in which my brother and sister veterans and the men and women in uniform do all over this world every single day. And I thank you so very, very much.
Thank you. Well, let's hear it for all the veterans who are standing up to the Trump administration, to Vote Vets and our friends around the world. So one unanswered question is, why was Jeff Sessions so desperate to cover up his conversations with the Russian ambassador? Why is it? Why did he decide to lie under oath to cover up his conversations with the Russian ambassador? You might say, the people have a right to know Jeff Sessions has got to go. The people have a right to know Jeff Sessions has got to go. The people have a right to know Jeff Sessions has got to go. The people have a right to know Jeff Sessions has got to go. The people have a right to know Jeff Sessions has got to go.
They just changed the Department of Justice menu to Boston caviar, I heard.
Worst and caviar on the Department of Justice menu. Thank you. Our next speaker is Jen Raffanon from the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm an organizer with the Progressive Change Campaign Committee and the former Executive Vice President of Young Democrats of Georgia. Living in Georgia, I can tell you this. People from red and purple states, like mine, who voted for Trump, were not voting to empower corruption, but that's what they got. Across the Trump cabinet, including today with Jeff Sessions, we see rampant corruption, political insiders and corporate executives who are operating against the public interest. Before, we saw new Treasury Secretary, Wall Street banker Steve Mnuchin lie to Congress about $100 million in his assets. That caused clear conflicts of interest. And now, Jeff Sessions lied to Congress about issues that are key to our national security and foreign meddling in our elections. He not only had secret meetings with Russia, but he lied about having them. So let me ask you, do non-corrupt people lie to Congress about secret meetings with Russia during our election?
No!
Or do corrupt people lie to Congress about that?
No!
Jeff Sessions is corrupt. The American people cannot trust him, and he must resign as Attorney General. Thank you.
Thank you.